I'm Will Iorio. I'm a senior from Weaverville, North Carolina. I am a captain on the varsity soccer team. I play varsity lacrosse. I'm involved with the PEP program and the Rotary Club.
I'm Wade Maurer. I'm a senior from Asheville, North Carolina. I'm a captain on the varsity soccer team. I'm an honor council member. I've been involved in the physics club and the Struan Literary Magazine, as well as the Quiz Bowl team. I can remember the first time I stepped on campus as a student here. I was an 8th grader. I was pretty nervous being one of the younger guys at school. It was a very bustling community. Everything was going pretty quickly, and that was new for me. Saw a lot of older guys like greeting each other after knowing each other for previous years. So yeah, I was nervous, but I was also very excited to be a part of the new community. Could tell it was a great place just from the first day. I was very excited.
I arrived for early sports my sophomore year. I'm originally from Connecticut, and that's where I came from. I didn't know anyone at this school, so it was my dad and I walking around campus, going to each stop before you could check in. And I saw all these guys, they all looked like best friends, just high-fiving each other, saying what's up after they hadn't seen each other all summer. And it just looked like the best possible community. And I remember just walking around, like it's a beautiful campus, and just thinking, this is the place that I want to be. The new construction on campus has been probably the biggest development during my time here. I've seen the dining hall go from a really small space to the space that it is now, and it's really incredible. The food is fantastic there, and it's just a place where you can get with all your friends and just have a dinner or a lunch, and that's really what Christ School is about. It just brings us all together and lets us talk about whatever we want to do.
The dining hall, I think, has been the most noticeable change so far from all this new construction. Before that, it was always crowded. It was always the flow wasn't great. They had limited options just because of the structures in the kitchen, and now it works so much nicer. There's a lot more space, a lot more options for the students because they'll have 4 or 5 things you can eat every day at lunch. And they've also got that new private dining room for where groups can meet and stuff like that. So dining hall, I think, has been the biggest change. But also the Alumni Plaza does a lot for the feel of the campus. It feels sort of more modern, but also kind of homey and friendly to like pedestrians. And Gardner House, I'm a day student, but it's very nice in there, better than a lot of college campuses that you see, having the air-conditioned dorms, their bigger rooms, suite style. I kind of wish I could live there. I first came to Christ School mostly because my father is an administrator here, and my brother was a senior my 8th grade year, so it was kind of my destiny to come to Christ School. But I don't regret it for a minute. It's just been a wild ride ever since I've arrived as a student. It's been wonderful.
I came to Christ School because I originally went to a public high school and I just wasn't getting the most out of my experience there. Academically, it wasn't the greatest. Athletically, it wasn't the greatest, so I started to explore other options. I explored some in the north, but I heard about Christ School because my parents wanted to retire in Asheville. So I looked into it, and my dad and I came and visited in February one year, and it was everything that I was looking for. The community here, just the faculty, everything here is exactly what I hoped for. Since arriving at Christ School, I've been able to develop because it's required me to become independent. I need to be able to do my laundry, do my homework without being told to do it, and just manage all of my classes and my daily schedule without having any real supervision on me at all times. It's really helped me mature as a person, and it's a complete result of the Christ School experience.
Since coming to Christ School, I've transformed in a lot of ways, and I think one of the biggest is academically. Before Christ School, I sort of, coasted through my classes in middle school. I made A's, but I wasn't really pushing myself and wasn't getting the most out of the opportunities. And since being at Christ School, my teachers have always pushed me to be the best that I can do. if I get a 95, I'll have some teachers that'll say, Wade, you can do better. And some kind of tough love to show, like, to help me reach my fullest potential, even if I might need that push. Also, emotionally and mentally, I've become more independent. I've grown thicker skin, which is something you need to do in all boys school, and Christ School helps with that a lot. It's just been a fantastic opportunity to explore who I am and grow in that, and grow in who my identity is. One of my fondest memories being at Christ School was the bonfire during Asheville School Week, my 8th grade year. I think that was my first big experience of the Christ School community and how close and how exciting and how vibrant it is. It was the first big activity of Asheville School Week. Everyone was gathered out by this huge fire at nighttime. It was just crazy. People were singing and yelling. We burned some dummies for Asheville School Week. And it was just that experience of being part of a community was something I hadn't felt before. And looking back on it, it helped instill the Christ School community in a part of me, and helped me buy into the Christ School community and make myself a part of it. Christ School has allowed me to explore my own identity in a way that I think wouldn't have been possible at public schools. It's a very accepting community, so it gives everyone the opportunity to find out who they are and express that in whatever way they choose. And I think being here has helped me grow in that way, and help me pursue who I want to be and the characteristics that make me me.
Since arriving at Christ School, I've really learned about time management. Originally, I went to a public school and I didn't have the greatest time management. I'd be up doing homework until probably 2 a.m. And since coming to Christ School, I've learned how to balance everything in my life and be able to do it in a way that I can really enjoy things. Like, I can get my homework done and I can talk with my friends and hang out with them while also playing a sport and having a social life. Christ School has taught me how to do all of these things at once, and it's really probably been the most important thing that I've learned here.
A big part of being a part of Christ School is giving back to it, It's a big privilege to come here.
Yeah.
And I think a big part of being a Greenie is having thanks for that opportunity, giving back to it and buying in. You hear Mr. Krieger say, ante up, at the beginning of every school year, and I think being a Greenie is part of anteing up and buying into the community.
Yeah, and it's about contributing everything that you have, all of your skills, into this community. Like, if you see someone down that can't really do something that you can do well, it's about helping them. And it's really all of those common values that make everyone a Greenie.
And Greenies help each other. We saw that video where the people said, "What hurts my brother hurts me," and I think that is very present here.
Yeah.
When we see one of our Greenies who's having a tough time, who's struggling, there's always plenty of people there to help them out, give them a hand. I think that's one of the things that makes this place so special.
Yeah. It's that sense that we're almost like a family. It's just, brotherhood gets said a lot, but it really is a value here. If I could thank anyone for my time here at Christ School, it would have to be my parents. They let me explore the option to come to a prep school like this. They let me explore every possibility in what I've wanted to do in life. They've encouraged all of my goals, and it is because of them that I am allowed to go here, and it is because of them that I am successful in everything that I do. So I would definitely have to say thank you to them.
There's two people that I would probably thank for my development as a student. I think first would be my advisor, Mr. Money. Since coming to Christ School, I've had him in 3 different classes, and each time he's encouraged me and pushed me at the same time. When I was an 8th grader, he encouraged me to step away from easier classes that I could coast through and take on more difficult classes that I could struggle and also excel in at the same time. and he's been instrumental in my success early on and later on in my high school career. The second, I think, would be Mr. Kneft. Having him in English class, he helped develop my thought process just as a person, as well as my skill and ability as a writer. We had a lot of very good discussions in his class, and made me think a lot about my own beliefs and how I see the world. And when I wrote for him in his class, his feedback was always very insightful, sometimes tough to read, sometimes tough to respond to that criticism. But coming out of that class, I've become a much better writer. So I thank those two, Mr. Money and Mr. Kneft.